Time to say goodbye to JoJo's once again. For now. We are here with the final JoJo opening. That being Heaven's Falling Down by Sana, in parentheses, Saojo no Hana. Crazy to think. I mean, not too much longer we'll have a new opening for part 7, which, you know, I'll definitely do that and continue it. But we say goodbye to everything that is part 1 to 6. And this also coincides with the end of the reaction series as well, until part 7. But you know, the big binge that we did. And in case you haven't seen it, if you go over to my main channel, link in description, I'm doing a Q&A to wrap out JoJo. So, I mean, you can also post questions here on this video if you want, if you don't feel like going all the way over there. But if you go to the main channel, there'll be the community post, drop your questions in there, or drop them on the final episode, or drop them here. I'll see all of them anyway, but I'm just trying to keep it more collected. But despite all that, we're here for music, and I'm excited, especially to do the visuals for this one. And of course, one other thing, stay tuned for the very, very end of this video, as I will finally be doing my ranking for all of the openings. So yeah, let's end this. Destiny is mine. Again, continuing that on, we have a lead female singer, which, again, for the part in which the main JoJo is a female, it makes sense musically to do that. It does feel in the same sort of vein as End of the World. Bass. Let me know what other songs Sana has done, just because she has quite the voice. I mean, of course, there's other singers in here too, but just like that main voice. It sounds familiar, but obviously I'm gonna attribute it to this. It's almost kind of like Lisa. Male voice coming in, you know, that kind of adds to it because predominantly the cast is mainly female. Though coming towards the end, it kind of is split. But, you know, like that male voice coming in, come out and be like, you know, Anasui, Jotaro, even Emporio. Again, wild thing that this wasn't like an even split because 24 episodes, well, most of the 24 episodes was for the Stone Ocean opening. And then only for like the last 14-ish episodes, and it wasn't even for all of them, you get Heaven's Falling Down, which I mean, is cool. Again, when I first heard this opening and it was titled Heaven's Falling Down, it's just like, oh, that's so good because, you know, we're going to heaven or heaven's coming to us. But it also could be like Heaven's Falling Down, you know, heaven, obviously made in heaven, but also falling down could kind of be like the sea moon gravity thing. That bass, dude. That's what I'm really latching onto. Oof. Again, classic case. I can't fully tell if there's any sort of alterations in the voice because it sounds good. I mean, there's obviously like a reverb effect, but it sounds pretty natural and it sounds great. That's what happens when you get a good singer. This falsetto. That head voice. I forget, I think I even said this in the thing when I first heard this, like, what rock band does it remind me of? I guess kind of Journey-esque. Just, you know, those heavy vocal hits matching up with like percussion, just like ba-da-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da-da. You know, there's a consistent theme across the second openings whenever they do them. End of the World, Great Days, Uragiri Mono, and then this. Because, you know, the first opening is pretty high octane a lot of the time, just, you know, really hook you into like, okay, it's a new part, new mysteries, new characters, but, you know, the action, all that, it accompanies it well. But the second opening is like, okay, plot, end of the world, you know, going to stop Dio, and like Dio's predominantly in the intro. Great Days, it's like, okay, this is the freedom we're fighting for. We're going after Killer Queen. Great Days. Uragiri Mono no Requiem is building towards the Requiem stands and all that stuff. And then Heaven's Falling Down is going to stop Pucci, you know, the Heaven's Plan, Made in Heaven. But just the vocals part of it as well. Just like it's that feeling of like unification of all the characters coming together to stop whatever this evil is, which, you know, is a consistent thing across pretty much every part of JoJo. I mean, that's shonen in general, though. It's just the friends we made along the way and the connections leading us to then that final battle, and just the vocals match that well. What is that sound? Kind of like that rewinding sound. Tsubasa. It's interesting that it had kind of that rewinding sound, even though this deals a lot with going forward, though also back, time, all that, but stay with me. Ooh, I'm really latching onto the guitar this time. I will say, I do really like this song, don't get me wrong. I mean, we'll reveal at the end where it fits in my overall ranking, but I mean, I'll spoil it. It's not up there, but that's just mainly because, like, JoJo's has so many incredible openings that it does kind of fall short in my mind. I mean, to be fair, in the collection that is all of the openings, this one is the most recent one. But then again, for me, all of them were sort of recent, other than, like, Sonochi no Sadame. Just this part, because, like, it's not too different from the first bit of it where it goes into, like, Heaven's Falling Down. It's a good melody, you know, like I can follow it, and I do love it. And I always find myself being like, Heaven's falling down. I do think it's an opening that works better with visuals, though, just because, I mean, again, we'll get to the incredible visuals that is the second variation. Destiny is mine being the consistent lyric. I mean, I'll talk more about like the story side of it when we get to the visuals in a moment, but it's just interesting having it be destiny is mine when, you know, I mean, again, we'll talk about story in a bit, but it's just kind of like destiny is mine, and it shows Jolie, and it's like, well, sure. I don't think I've heard this part. The classic stripping away the vocals. Oh, dude, that guitar carried forward the melody. Destiny is mine. Dude, I love that. Again, not only in this, but just in like most anime songs like this, there's that structure of like you get the strong start, the next part of the chorus where it goes into like the vocals change a little bit, then there's this part where it strips away the vocals, then they come back, then they alternate where it's like instruments without vocals and then vocals without instruments, and then it all crescendos into the end. It's a structure that we've seen a plethora of times throughout doing these songs, which I mean, it's a good structure. It just kind of gets to a point where it's like, okay, I like it more when it strays away from the norm in that regard, but it's still good. Like, I love the voice here. It's just, it's such a powerful voice. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that was the end. I thought we had maybe like another couple seconds, but the voice straight up there was good. I really liked it. But again, I think this works better with the visuals, which obviously we'll get into now. I left some reservations on my overall ranking for when we finally did this video, but you know, I think I'm fine leaving it where it is, which you'll see. This is the fun part of doing it like this, and going into the future, I will do more of this where, you know, we do the song itself in isolation and the actual opening. Just because it gives like a whole new context to it, especially with this song. But now let us watch the final opening. Destiny is mine. I'm so happy that it carries the 3D forward. This is also a consistent thing between this and like Uragiri Mono no Requiem, is like it kind of speed runs the first half of the story that led us to this point, and then, you know, we get into the new stuff. Jotaro. I love that. I love that you have Jolene initially alone, staring off to the star, and now all of them here, they can all masturbate to the star together. And then, you know, we do this version. Yes! Oh my god. As the world fucking obliterates. I never realized it went to that at the end, but then again, that was the last visual. So there's so much to talk about here. First of all, Zawardo Star Platinum, and it's just like, oh yeah, Jotaro, but then yeah, countering the Star Platinum there, which, well, I mean, this actually plays after that, which is like, oh no, Jotaro, but then it just goes into I love that it does the reverse of Sonochi no Sadame. It's just like, there's such passion in this, dude. Because Sonochi no Sadame starts with Jolene, and then it goes, you know, back to Jonathan. And then this, it starts with Jonathan, and it goes to Jolene, and it ends with the same pose that she does in that first panel. It's the ultimate book open, book close, for better or for worse. This also hits because I've started reading the manga, but just, yeah, Jonathan, Joseph, the mad bastard, Jotaro, fucking Giga Chad Josuke. I see some I'm biased here. Some of these characters only get like 2 panels and the rest goes into Giorno, and then yeah, to Jolene, which that's just so good, you know? Which is a shame because I feel like a lot of the time the openings will be skipped even up to the end. There's such story, which I completely understand, obviously. Like, I always do my thing where I listen to the opening initially just to like listen to the song, and then it's not till it plays for the last time that I really look back on the visuals because there are spoilers in it. It's just so cool that this played for like the last time, the last opening for it. And then, it wasn't enough. We then go through all of them with all their MacGuffins. The mask, and then the thread that's like tying them all together. The mask, the stone, and then the arrow, and then Dio's bone. There's no like MacGuffin thing with Jotaro there, just because their whole thing in part 3 was just getting to Dio, and then putting the arrow next to Josuke and Giorno would make sense, because that's what started their whole thing, was the arrow. It's like Sonochi no Sadame, but it's also like Stand Proud. Especially like coming up. So that's really what that visual is. As the universe fucking fast forwards to infinity. And yeah. That visual at the end. Didn't clock, obviously, that visual at the end until after watching the episode. I mean, even now, I didn't even realize it was in it. But yeah, wow, that was Heaven's Falling Down. The visuals of that are my favorite, just because, I mean, especially if you watch, like, Sonochi no Sadame and that back-to-back. It's the whole journey, the adventure, if you will. Now, I will say, like, it is an opening that kind of rings hollow when you watch it in the show, because when that plays, it's after Jolene and all them have already died. I don't know, that visual of Jolene fighting Pucci, it's like, I mean, that happens briefly, kind of off screen and panel. That part where she's like, face me, Father Pucci. Looking back on the whole story, I kind of wish it was more Jolene rather than Emporio, but I understand the whole thing that's just like, the universe wasn't reset necessarily, you know, it's just everything from the events of part 1 to 5 still happen, it's just part 6 doesn't, but I still have the argument just like, well, then what was the fuck was the point of any of the character that was given to them over the course of that, just for them to not be there in the end? That's something we could talk more about in a Q&A. But so to wrap out this Music Enthusiast Reacts, we will now talk about my ranking for all of the JoJo openings, which was kind of difficult to do, but at the end I was like, you know what, ultimately this is how I feel about it. So I think we'll go from the bottom up. In last place, which I've talked about a lot, is Chase by Bata. Again, though it's my least favorite, I still love the song. Like, I still listen to it every once in a while. It's just one of those ones where it comes up and I'm like, I'll listen to it for a little bit and then just kind of like skim past it. But, and keeping on the part 4 train, number 10, I have Great Days. Again, I love it. The visuals of it are cool. I kept meaning to talk about it, but I do like that, I mean, whether or not it was intentional, but the melody of Great Days, or at least part of it, and Jolene's theme have the same kind of structure, where, you know, Great Days has the shining justice led by a day, and then Jolene's theme is and then number 9, I have Uragiri Mono no Requiem. Again, visuals, amazing, with like the 3 different visuals there are for it. Of the drops, it might be one of my favorites though, just like Zetsubo Gatamaniku. And then number 8, I'll put Heaven's Falling Down. Again, despite us doing this right now, visual wise, it is one of my favorites, but song wise and just overall, I put it here. Again, great song. I love the voice in it. We just talked about it, but just kind of like, it can be hit or miss sometimes. And then at number 7, the other part 6 opening, I have Stone Ocean's opening. I know for some people, it's just like, how dare you put that part 6 one over the other part 6 one, but I like the song itself of, you know, break out, dameo. I like that song more. It's also just kind of going off memorability and just like what I'm willing to listen to a lot of the time. It's just kick ass. Number 6, I have Fighting Gold. I know some people have told me that it's just like that song is kind of hit or miss for them, but I don't know. A lot of these songs, and especially this one, I enjoyed much more listening to it after the part and just found it much more kick-ass. Just every time I hear that opening, I'm like, yes. And then now in the top 5, number 5, I have End of the World from part 3. I think in different versions of this list, I put this a little higher and maybe even a little lower. I mean, just also for the visual of Dio literally invading the intro. It's really good, but also the song as well, just End of the world. Sonochi no kiroku. And then number 4, I have Bloody Stream. I had definitely heard Bloody Stream at some point before ever watching JoJo's, but like when it played for part 2, it was like, oh yeah, this song as well. It's just one that keeps coming up, and I just like, it reminds me that like, holy shit, yeah, kick fucking ass, dude. And then number 3, I have, believe it or not, Sonochi no Satame. For the longest time, it was my favorite, and I think visually, from start to finish, it's still my favorite, but then again, it's the opening that we've obviously had for the longest time, so it's kind of cheating in that regard, but Sonochi no Satame. It's one, though, where, like, listening to future openings, though I have a weird nostalgia for it, despite listening to it before ever actually watching the show, I wish it played at all during the events of part 3, but it is what it is. Now, the final 2. Number 2, we have Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town. Between this and what the number 1 is, which by process of elimination you can guess, for a while Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town was definitely my favorite, but the more and more I kept listening to my number 1, it was like, nah, it has to be that. But Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town is one where it's just like, you can't ever skip it if it comes up. I mean, an argument could be made that you shouldn't skip any JoJo thing, but again, it's one where I definitely love the song more so than the actual visuals and whatnot of the opening. I mean, case in point, the other 2 part 4 songs at the bottom, and then this one is at the top. Maybe that adds to a lot of why I don't really like Chase and Great Days as much, just because I'm like, bring back Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town. I'm not ranking the EDM remix of it. I don't count that. I want the original song. And well, number 1, of course, you can guess, is Stand Proud from part 3. Now, it was one where, like, if you look back on my part 3 reactions, I was like, was that it? Which I have that to a lot of the other openings as well, but I don't know, just over time, it just grew on me so much. And though that segment of the story wasn't necessarily my favorite, you know, them getting to Egypt, the visuals of it, the song, it's just so kick-ass. It kind of takes me back to, like, the Dragon Ball days. It's just like those heavy guitar and strong vocals. Stand Proud. And yeah, that is the ranking. Curious where part 7 stuff will land on that. Then again, I'll have to wait till after part 7 finishes overall, which will probably be in the next 5 years maybe. Do let me know down in the comments below what your overall ranking is for the JoJo parts, because obviously it will change from person to person, because music is one of the most subjective things, same with taste. And yeah, we say goodbye to JoJo's again for a couple weeks, because, you know, part 7, but it's been an incredible journey again, going through all these. You can now watch the whole playlist of all the Music Enthusiast reacts to all the openings. I'm planning to do the endings, not in like individual videos, but I think I'm gonna do a compilation where I just do it all in one video. That'll be more for actually looking at the visuals, because those are ones where I have not looked really at the visuals of the endings outside of like part 6's, I think. But then again, that was just like an ocean, I think. Again, that'll be more for the visuals, because do I really need to do a video listening to Walking Like an Egyptian? Do not answer that. But either way, this was Music Enthusiast reacts to Heaven's Falling Down by Sana, as well as my overall rankings of all the JoJo parts. And I hope you'll join me for many other videos of the sort, be they future music reactions, reviews, gameplay, and everything else to be coming out soon. So thank you all for joining me on this. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.